everyone from the state of Alaska. For those of you who've been following us, you know that we're reading the New Testament. We are currently in the book of Luke, and we're going to be on chapter 21 today. Now, Luke only has 24 chapters, so we are almost complete. And Luke 21 has only 38 verses. Alright, looks like probably 98% of these verses are all in red. So these are all Jesus talking. We will cover the topics of a widow's two mites. Jesus predicts the destruction of the temple, the signs of the times and the end of the age, the destruction of Jerusalem, the coming of the Son of Man, the parable of the fig tree. If you've been reading along with us and following along, you understand that he seems to like this parable. He likes talking about fig trees in comparison to fig trees, so it must have been a really important thing in those times. And that's the one key thing to remember when we're reading this, that this was written during those times, so you have to kind of think of how they were thinking on some things. The importance of watching is the last section to be covered. Alright, so as always, if you don't have a Bible, remember that you can go to www.bible.com and read for free. You can also download the YouVersion app on your smartphone. I know all of you probably have a smartphone. That's for free, and they have every version that you can possibly imagine on there, to include some translated into whatever your native language might be. And then today we're going to be reading out of the New King James Version, and there is a link down below if you would like to purchase a Bible. There's a link to where I actually purchased this Bible. So, alright, let's go ahead and get started. Hope you all are having a great day. And he looked up and saw the rich putting their gifts into the treasury. And he also saw a certain poor widow putting in 2 mites. So he said, "Truly I say to you that this poor widow has put in more than all, for all these are out of their abundance, have put in their offerings for God. But she, out of her poverty, put in all the livelihood that she had." Then as he spoke of the temple, how it was adorned with beautiful stones and donations, he said, "These things which you see, the days will come in which not one stone shall be let upon another, that shall not be thrown down." So they asked him, saying, "Teacher, but when will these things be? And what sign will there be when these things are about to take place?" He said, "Take heed that you not be deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and the time is drawn near. Therefore do not go after them. But when you hear of wars and commotions, do not be terrified. For these things must come to pass first, but the end will not come immediately." Then he said to them, "Nations will rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there will be great earthquakes in various places, and famines, and pestilence, and there will be fearful sights and great signs from heaven. But before all these things, they will lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogue and prisons. You will be brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. But it will turn out for you as an occasion for testimony. Therefore settle it in your hearts not to meditate beforehand on what you will answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries will not be able to contradict or resist. You will be betrayed, even by parents and brothers, relatives, and friends, and they will put some of you to death, and you will be hated by all for my name's sake. But not a hair of your head shall be lost. By your patience possesses your souls." By your patience possess your souls. The destruction of Jerusalem. But when you see Jerusalem surrounded by armies, then know that desolation is near. Then let those who are in Judea flee into the mountains. Let those who are in the midst of her depart, and let not those who are in the country enter her. For these are the days of vengeance, that all things which are written by may be fulfilled. But woe to those who are pregnant, and to those who are nursing babies in those days, for there will be great distress in the land and wrath upon its people. And they will fall by the edge of the sword and be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem will be trampled by Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles are fulfilled. And there will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars, and on the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them from fear, and the expectation of those things which are coming on earth, for the powers of the heavens will be shaken. Then they will see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Now when these things begin to happen, look up and lift up your heads, because your redemption draws nigh. Then he spoke to them a parable. Look at that fig tree and all those trees. When they are already budding, you see and know for yourselves that summer is now near. So you also know when you see these things happening that the kingdom of God is near. Assuredly I say to you, this generation will by no means pass away until all these things take place. Heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will by no means pass away. But take heed to yourselves, lest your hearts be weighed down with carousing, drunkenness, and cares of this life, and that day come on you unexpectedly. For it will come as a snare on all those who dwell on the face of the earth. Watch therefore, and pray always, that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. And in the daytime he was teaching in the temple, but at night he went out and stayed in the mountain called Olivet. Then early in the morning all the people came to him in the temple to hear him. Well, that's a pretty good chapter there. You never know when the end time is exactly going to be. So you have to ask yourself, are you ready? Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it. If you have any questions, any comments, we'd love to hear from you. Just post them down below, whether you're watching this on YouTube, on Twitter, or on Facebook. Thank you so much. We are currently over 400 subscribers, and that makes me feel so good, for the simple fact that I know that these are getting out there and they're being heard. These videos are currently the majority of the content that I have out there right now. So, as always, thanks so much for liking the video. Thanks so much for your subscription. But please, please, please share this video. This may be exactly what someone needs to hear today. Alright? So, help us share the power of faith. That is what it's all about. Alright? Thanks so much. I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday. Stay warm, stay safe. Just do what's right out there with everything that's going on. Alright? Thanks a lot. Love y'all. God bless.